I'm making a potato crust quiche Lorraine, but it's going to be very heavy on the egg, very little cream. I'm not even using cream, I'm using half and half because that's what my husband likes in his coffee and what I always have in the fridge. So it's a lot of egg, a lot less cream, and instead of our crust that would be made with flour, we're gonna make a crust out of basically a giant hash brown. For one 4-portion, 10-inch skillet quiche, you're going to start with 2 large russet potatoes. Look for the big boys. Go to the open bins. Don't buy a sack and use the little guys. If you have some to use up at home, you're going to need 4. 2 big boys, about 2 pounds of potato. What I did was I peeled them up, I shredded them on my box grater, and then I gave them a rinse and pressed out all the liquid. You want them to get nice and crisp, and that's one of the tricks. Really get all the liquid out of them. Once they're nice and fluffy and dry, and I've pressed all the liquids out from my strainer, I'm gonna season up the potatoes themselves with a fat tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a little bit of nutmeg, that little bit of something that makes people go, what is that in that hash brown? Oh, my bacon. Oh, smells fantastic. I started my skillet over here to cook out a lot of onion with 4 slices of good meaty bacon. Then you want 1 large or 2 medium onions for 1 4-portion quiche. So a softball size onion or 2 medium onions. And you want to chop that. I've got about a 1/4-inch dice. Flip that around to combine and coat the onions with our bacon fat. And we're gonna let these cook low and slow. I'm turning the heat down now to medium-low. You want the onions to cook low and slow until they're very sweet and sugary. I'm adding a little bit of garlic because I add garlic to everything, and it's my quiche. Now, I really do love a little garlic in this as well. And I love lots of fresh thyme, or a teaspoon of dry thyme would be fine as well. Don't salt this until later. You're gonna salt and pepper the eggs, but this is gonna be salty enough because, of course, the salt in the what's left of the bacon after I eat lots of it. So we're gonna let him cook low and slow, and I've melted some butter over here, but we'll get back to the melted butter in a minute. We were seasoning our potatoes, 2 large potatoes, shredded, big fat round tablespoon of Dijon mustard, nutmeg, salt. Potatoes love salt. Be more generous with the salt than you think. Little black pepper as well. And then we're gonna toss this together with our tongs. At home, I just stick my paws in here and mix this all together. I'm trying to be a little more ladylike for y'all. Now we're going to take melted butter and butter the pan liberally to get our crust going. And then we're gonna get our potatoes in there, mound them up, basically your giant hash brown. And then you really do have to use your hands for this part. You're going to nest this and then press it to make an even crust that goes all the way up, but not over the sides of the pan. And then you're going to butter the potatoes again. So see how we're kind of packing this in and making a little bed, this beautiful, crunchy, crispy potato crust for our bacon and onions and eggs. I have 6 large eggs, and I have just a 1/2 cup of cream, or in our house, we always have 1/2 and 1/2 for John's coffee, so I'm gonna use that. A little salt and pepper, of course. And then stream in your cream, or 1/2 and 1/2. We have our potato crust, our giant hash brown, so it's gluten-free, pulled out of the oven. And now we're going to pop it right back in the oven once we combine all of our bacon, onions, garlic, and thyme with our egg filling. We're going to just stir that together so that the bacon and onion is evenly distributed. That's the Lorraine filling. And then it goes right back into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to just set the top. After we add the egg, the top is set enough to add cheese so the cheese won't sink. We're going to cover the top with Gruyere cheese, shredded Gruyere, big chunk. And then we're going to put this back in the oven to brown the cheese, another 10, 12 minutes or so. And then you're going to bring it out and just let it rest. You can slide it out, and you can serve this breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, late night. It's perfect.